Hello everyone, welcome to Virtual Counselling Session with Bangor University. I hope you are safe and well. I'm Mohammad Rajamia, Managing Director of TCL Global. I'm joining you from Portsmouth, UK. TCL Global is an education consultancy firm based in Portsmouth, UK, with its head office in UK. So we have 5 branches around the world. We have our regional office in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh City. We have our another office in Kuwait City, then 2 offices in Bangladesh, Dhaka and Sylhet. We are representing over 70 UK universities. We have held over 3,000 students last year. We're the largest education consultancy firm based in southeast of England, and our service is completely free of charge. So, dear viewers, I have a guest with me, Morgan Edwards, International Recruitment Officer for South Asia from Bangor University. Morgan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for that introduction. I'm really happy to be here today and have an opportunity to talk with some great students from Bangladesh. You know, I was visiting Bangladesh in Dhaka back in February and had a really fantastic visit, met some really great students, and I know the quality there is really high. So looking forward to having a chance today to speak with you and speak with these guys and hopefully have them consider coming to Bangor in the future.
Okay, thank you. So, Morgan, what would like to advise the students who are interested to apply or a little bit confused due to the COVID-19?
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult to have a conversation nowadays without putting that question number one. One thing I would say is that everybody in the world is dealing with this problem right now. So we totally understand that it's a really difficult time for international students, deciding if they want to study overseas. From Bangor's perspective, our September 2020 intake is going ahead as planned, so it will be face-to-face classes. However, just some points on that. The UK government is releasing an announcement this weekend about the easing of the restrictions, the lockdown here in the UK, and obviously that's going to shape, our intake in September. So, if you're interested in studying, even if it's not Bangor, if it's another university, maybe just wait until next week before you make your final plans. But, really what I would say is that, the UK, regardless if it's face-to-face or if it's online, it's going to be there for you to study. And Bangor has a number of online courses that we'll be offering. And whatever happens, we'll be there to support the students.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what sort of the existing students are there that should doing the online classes at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. So when the lockdown was imposed and people were told to stay at home, all of our classes moved online. So Bangor has actually delivered a number of full online classes for a number of years now. So we've got some really good experience in delivering online courses. So all of our students are taking their courses online at the moment, and they've been really, really satisfied with how they've been delivered, the attention from the tutors. The process has been very seamless. So even though it's not ideal, the delivery of the course has still been very high, and students have really appreciated that.
Okay. So it would be great to know a little bit overview for the audience who already joined us today about the Bangor University and the city as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The saying in English, the elevator pitch, it's a quick 1 minute or 2 minute introduction about something, the time it takes to go up in a lift, in an elevator. So I'll try and do that very quickly for you guys. So Bangor University, it's one of the oldest universities in the UK. It was founded in 1884 in a very small but beautiful location next to the coastline in North Wales. It really is one of the most picturesque locations in the world, and I've been fortunate enough to travel to some very beautiful countries worldwide, and I can say honestly that Bangor is definitely one of the most beautiful locations that you'll ever have the chance to live, to work and to study. We've got mountains, we've got lakes, rivers, the sea, forests, everything is on your doorstep, and that's really refreshing. Bangor Last year, best student accommodation, best university for clubs and societies. So that shows you that we're a very open, engaging, sociable university campus, and that's really important for international students to engage with other students. We're one of the cheapest places in the UK to study, so our fees are very low compared to some other universities, but the cost of living is also extremely low in Bangor, much, much lower than any big city. You'll not find a city with the living costs like Bangor. Some of our courses are leading both in the UK and internationally. So, for example, things around psychology that are doing research into mental health, mental well-being. Our environmental sciences programs, particularly ocean sciences, are very, very strong, doing really fantastic global research there. One thing is very unique at Bangor is that we have 11 different MBA programs as well. So most universities only offer 1 or 2 MBAs, which is very general. It's not great if you want to specialize in different areas. But Bangor, we understand that people want an understanding of business, but they might want to go in a particular direction. So we can do that. Okay. So that would be my pitch.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Yes, viewers, I can see that many of the viewers already joined. So it would be great to know the location you are joining from, because we're expecting the audience, the student joining from the Morocco, Egypt, Middle East, North Africa, Bangladesh, and South Asia. So if you can actually type in the location you are joining, so it will be great to know. And also, please share this session. And also, if you have any questions, you can ask the questions. We'll try to answer your question. Please, thank you very much. So it will be great to know that, Morgan, you mentioned specifically the 12 MBA. This MBA program, does it need the job experience and the duration of the course?
Yeah, so all of our MBA programs, you don't need previous work experience. You can come from your bachelor's degree. If you've done a B Commerce or something else, you can come straight to the MBA program. That's another thing. In some other MBAs, other universities, you have to have, prior working experience, and that's not the case at Bangor. The course length is 12 months, and at the moment there aren't any work placement opportunities with the MBAs. But obviously, something that students should consider is that you will get the post-study work visa. If you are coming to join in September, you will get that 2-year post-study work visa for no extra cost. So you can do your 1-year MBA, and then you'll have 2 years to work in the UK after graduation. So that's a really good thing for you guys.
I think we can one question already. Otishi, what is the requirement for MSc in AAA?
AAA, I'm assuming that would be electronic engineering, perhaps?
Yeah, electrical engineering, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to go to the specific page, but generally speaking, the course requirements or the entry requirements for students from Bangladesh, and so our master's programs would be a GPA of 2.5 or 55% in your bachelor's degree. So that would be the general entry requirements for most courses that we run. So for any specific information about the course, please do visit our website, which is www.bangor.ac.uk. Have a look at your course and just check out the specific entry requirements as well.
And also, Otishi, please, you can contact our team. If you're joining from Bangladesh or Dhaka and Sylhet office, you can find our contact details in our website and in our Facebook page. Our counselor will be happy to help you. So around the world, you can communicate our office in UK, Portsmouth, where is my team based, and also our office in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. So if you're joining from there, if you have any questions, you can also ask here. We will try to answer your question. So it will be nice to go through first the foundation program, because from Bangladesh and the Middle East, you can see that South Asia, lots of students now after finishing the higher secondary certificate school, they want to come and join foundation. So what are the foundation options the Bangor has to offer?
Yeah, sure. So we've got a few different options at both bachelor's and undergraduate level. So if you're just finished your high school and you're looking to study overseas, study an undergraduate degree, but maybe your high school grades that don't quite match up, or your English is just a little bit low, we have something called the International Year Zero, which is basically an extra year as part of your undergraduate degree. So obviously most undergraduate degrees in the UK are 3 years. With our International Year Zero, you have 1 year dedicated to extra classes on your English and on just getting you very comfortable with living overseas and getting used to the UK education experience. If you maybe don't need so much specific support, you can go into what's called International Year One. So that is for students with slightly better understanding of the academic experience in the UK or slightly better English. And you have extra classes alongside your main classes. So the International Year One, it's also called the International Incorporated Bachelors. We offer that in 3 areas. So one is with business-related degrees, management and economics. The second one is engineering, electronic engineering, computer sciences. And the third area is around law, media, psychology, and social sciences. So really we have programs for every level or every course interest. But then we also have our International Incorporated Masters programs.
Okay.
And essentially, that's similar to the incorporated bachelors in that you have extra classes alongside your degree as well. So you do still a 12-month program, and you study just those extra classes alongside your main course.
Okay. I think Utushi also asked here that would you consider the study gap and MOI?
Yeah, we do consider students with a study gap. We would like to see that you've been doing something constructive with your time. So, for example, working, if you've got, example of where you've been working for that study gap and you can get references to what you've been doing, that would definitely be really helpful. What I think it's the same for most universities. If you haven't been doing anything for maybe 3 or 4 years between graduating and studying, that's a little bit more difficult for universities because we need to see that you've been trying to work on developing yourself, and growing as an individual. MOIs, unfortunately, we don't accept MOIs at the moment, but that's something we're looking to change as we get more familiar with the education system in Bangladesh. It does depend on which country you're coming from. So I'm not sure, which country you're applying from, Matoshi. But in some countries we do accept MOIs. Other countries we need to see some other things. But again, for all the specific requirements for your country, do visit our website for that, or speak to your counsellors with TCL Global as well. These guys, we've been working with TCL Global for over 9 years now, so they know us really well, we know them really well, and they know the application process really well as well.
Okay, thank you. Back to the foundation. So how many intakes you got for the foundations?
Yeah, so the foundation, we have a few intakes throughout the year. So depending on which level you're applying for, we have intakes through September, June, January and April. So again, it depends on your English ability really, because if you're needing to have extra English courses, you might need a longer period of time for us to get you up to the required level. So for the majority of our courses, the IELTS requirement would be level 6. And for example, if you're a 4.5 level, you're going to need longer time to get to level 6 than somebody who's starting at 5 or 5.5. So it all depends on your English ability. And again, more specific, I don't want to go too much into detail online because it's probably easier for students to go through that in their own time on our website. But hopefully that's enough just to touch on that for the time being.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
One thing, sorry, Mohammed, I was going to say there. So I know, right now the IELTS centres are closed. So proving IELTS is really difficult for students to do. One thing that Bangor is doing now, we're accepting an online English test called Duolingo. So that's $49 and it takes less than 1 hour. So you can do that in the comfort of your own home. And we would accept that. So if you can't get your IELTS scores, but you need to prove your English, then please do look at the Duolingo test.
Okay.
We would need to see 105 points, which would be equivalent to IELTS 6, just for your reference.
I think fantastic. It's really great news, especially that where is the IELTS center is actually closed. So please contact our team in Bangladesh and around the world. Our team can actually help you and give you more advice, specific advice as well about the test. About the bachelor, because lots of bachelor students, undergraduate students, they asked our counselors that whether any placement there, as well as placement, study abroad option is available with the undergraduate.
Yeah, so we definitely have a few placements opportunities with our undergraduate degrees. For courses in the psychology department, courses in our business department, ocean sciences, environmental sciences. We have, placement opportunities all throughout electronic engineering and computer sciences. When you go to apply, you can apply for specific course with placement as well. And the university will give you support in finding those placements as well. Obviously, you need to do a bit of work yourselves to find the companies and the industry that you'd like to go into. So the university can support you in finding those as part of your undergraduate degree. And of course, masters, they're available as well.
Okay. Is the undergraduate application is like through the UCAS or direct application?
So we accept through both, but for an international student, we would always encourage students to go through direct applications. That's kind of confusingly the name for our system as well. It's also called direct application. And obviously you can choose by yourself or to go with a counsellor. And we would always recommend going with a counsellor, going with an agency like TCL Global, who know the process, who know all the documents that you need to upload. It really would be the most effective way for you guys to, and a less stressful way to go through the application process.
Okay. Undergraduate, as I know, is like a September. I don't know whether any recent changes about the offering undergraduate in January or any other intake.
Yeah, so at the moment, we're only offering our undergraduate courses from the September, just because the way the year runs. But obviously, because of how, COVID-19, the coronavirus is affecting things, that's all going to change probably. Bangor University and many other universities are going to look at different intakes for their undergraduates. If that be starting some courses online and then starting the face-to-face course at a later date. We're going to be looking at that. Bangor is doing a big review of how we deliver our courses at both undergraduate and master's level. Our master's courses do run in September and January intakes, so we're a bit more flexible with the master's intakes there.
Okay, fantastic. Undergraduate, sometimes we find a lot of students inquiring actually about, after the high school, they join some jobs and they want to come for the undergraduate. There is a study gap, So, because I know that for master's level, if the relevant experiences there is more acceptable. I don't know what would be advice for the gap study they have, before they start the bachelor.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it all depends on your individual situation. It's very difficult to give a general blanket comment. But I think if the work that you have been doing is if it's professional and you've been using English in the job as well, that would be a really important factor. If it's good industry experience that has detailed work, then we're going to look really positively on that. But if it's something which doesn't lack, it doesn't have a lot of skill, a lot of detailed knowledge, then it's going to be more difficult for students to come into undergraduate if they don't have that good, strong work experience. But what I would say is that do submit an application, because we look at every application on a case-by-case basis, and we understand that everybody is unique and they have a different way of moving through life. So the admissions team at Bangor, they do look at everything individually, and we'll understand that. So for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, viewers who just joined, if you want to apply Bangor University, we are the official representative of Bangor University. So please contact our team in Bangladesh, Dhaka and Sylhet. You can find our details in our website. Also, you can communicate through the Facebook messengers where you can reach our colleagues. Our colleague actually working from home now due to the COVID-19, and you can reach them through the WhatsApp as well. So please contact, as well as I want to give you a little bit update that TCL Global organizing virtual fair in June and July time, where you will have the opportunity to communicate directly, speak to Morgan. So if you're interested, contact our team, send the documents, and my team will then actually review documents, then actually finalize the meeting with Morgan. So we'll have opportunity to directly speak with the Morgan if you have any specific questions about the Bangor. So please follow our Facebook page, contact our team, and you will have this opportunity to connect with the University of Bangor. Okay. So Morgan, if we little bit touch about the PhD, then we'll move a little bit general English and academic and pre-sessional. Okay, so PhD, especially from Bangladesh, there is a government level, lots of students are coming for the PhD as well. Plus there are privately funded, and I can see that the government is sponsored from the Middle East as well, from our past experience. Yeah, so they always ask, how can I apply? What should we go through directly? Should we go directly contact with the supervisor or application process or certain department to contact to? So what will be your advice for PhD candidate? Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, PhDs, it's a really good question. And I'm glad that you kind of highlighted that PhD applicants in Bangladesh will have government funding, private funding secured, because, you know, let's be honest, that is the big question or the big problem with PhDs is your funding. Where's that money going to come from for your 2 or 3 years or even 4 years, however long it takes you to do your PhD? So, you know, right now in the UK, with everything that's going on and just the way that the economy is being kind of restructured, funding opportunities in the UK for international students that want to study PhDs, they're few and far between. So it's really important that you secure a source of funding before you consider applying. You don't need to have that money ready, but you need to have identified a clear source of your funding. So I know in the Middle East, you know, for example, in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, they provide a lot of funded PhD programs. In Bangor, we take a lot of those. In South Asia, a few students do come with government-funded PhDs. So do make sure that you have that funding identified before you consider applying. Another thing I would say is that you need to look at the university, look at Bangor or wherever you're considering applying, look at the supervisors they have and see if they can support you with your research, because unless the university has experts in your area, they're not going to be able to support you. So it's a waste of your time to submit an application because it's just not going to be approved. So I would always recommend that once you've identified a funding source, go to the website and see if that university has specialists or, you know, knowledge that can support you in your program. And you can also, you know, you can email the tutors, you can email the course leaders, and you can say, hey, you know, I'm really interested in this field. Do you have anybody or do you know anybody that can support me or supervise me in my PhD at the university? You know, it's a win-win for you guys because one or two things is going to happen. Number one, they'll say, yes, come to this university. Number two, they'll say no, but I know somebody at this university who does know. You know, PhD supervisors, they're a very friendly community and they're happy to share that knowledge and point you in the right direction. So when you do submit an application, if you're doing a PhD program, two things: your funding and you're identifying that it's the right supervisor for you, and you'll obviously need to submit a research proposal as well. You know, detailed research proposal saying what you're planning to do and how the university can help you with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Morgan. Yeah, and also just I want to add here, and the research proposal needs to be really good one, and so that you can find online lots of resources of lot of guideline how to write the research proposal, your personal statements, and your CV, so it's very important. As well as some of the university, I don't know the Bangor, maybe you can actually speak on that, whether any existing project already there. Sometimes like the project group of project is there, the candidate can join, So anything is there like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends on which department you're looking at, but we do have a couple of global projects that I'm, immediately aware of. So in our ocean sciences department, there's people doing involved in global work on renewable materials. Bangor does a lot of work on wind farms, so those kind of wind turbines that you see offshore that generate renewable energy, and we have a specialist centre for that. In our ocean sciences department, I also do a lot of global research on mangrove forests, which are really important for stopping climate change, rising sea levels. The mangrove forests that exist around some coastal countries, they really do help protect the country from global warming and rising sea levels. Other projects, I'm just trying to think now. So psychology, I mentioned at the beginning, they're doing a lot of research into mental health and mental well-being, which is a really important area nowadays, which everybody is concerned with, both in the workplace and in their personal lives as well. And Bangor's doing a lot of research into that area. And actually, this is a really relevant one. In the School of Health Sciences, Bangor's doing some research into COVID-19, into coronavirus as well.
Okay.
So they're contributing to vaccinations and knowledge that's improving our response to that. It was on the news last night actually about how Bangor University is working on on contributing to solving the COVID-19 crisis.
Okay, thank you. Yes, viewers, you always welcome to contact our counselor in Bangladesh, Dhaka and Sylhet, and also in our Kuwait city and in Saudi Arabia, and also my team based in Portsmouth, UK. So if you want to know about the process of the applying PhD applications, our team definitely advise you. Thank you very much, Morgan. It will be great to touch a little bit about the general English, professional English. As you know, the especially Middle East students, we have seen over the 8-9 years time, lots of students joining the course before they start their master's or bachelor. And so it will be nice to a little bit give overview. Why should they study and come for studying this course? Yeah.
Yeah, so the pre-sessional English courses, these are really popular in the Middle East. It's not an area that I cover, it's my colleague Noor. If you guys are from the Middle East and you're watching this, please do connect with Mohammed and his team, or go to the Bangor website. They can put you in touch with Noor. She's a really fantastic woman who's been working at a university for a long time. She's from the Middle East herself. She knows everything about the region, and she really is incredible. So she'll be able to answer any questions that you have. But to touch on pre-sessional English, so again, these are for students whose maybe your English doesn't reach that level 6 IELTS that we require for the majority of our courses. And the courses are designed just to work with you to focus on improving your English abilities, to just bring it up to that level. Right now, with the coronavirus, the COVID-19, we're delivering all of those courses online. So if you are interested in taking part in those pre-sessional English courses, we can do that for you online, and you can do that from the comfort of your own home. You obviously don't need to get a visa to do that because you'll be doing it online. So they're very, very convenient. Now, the length of the course, again, depends on which level you're starting at. So if you're coming from IELTS 4 or around that, or even below, you're going to need to spend more time with us throughout the year. I'll just pull up the information about our pre-sessional programs to just give you an idea of the start dates for the courses. Okay, yeah, so if you are looking at some of our pre-sessional courses, so the next ones that we have starting are in June, which would be June to September, and that would be for students starting at an IELTS level 5. The specific the dates would be June 22nd to September the 4th. If you're IELTS 5.5, then it would be July to September, so July 27th to September the 4th. And if you're, IELTS 6.0, but you have a few elements that are below 5.5, that would be an August start date. So you can apply for those courses online, again, on the Bangor website, the IELTS pre-sessional English courses. And obviously TCL Global, they know this process very well. They've been helping students apply to our English pre-sessional programs for over 9 years now. So if the pre-sessional is something you're interested in, please do speak to your counsellors at TCL Global who can help you. And if you're from the Middle East, I would just, like to again encourage you to contact my colleague Noor from the university, and she'll be really happy to engage with you guys and talk you through the process for the pre-sessional programs.
Thank you very much, Morgan. We've got another question that online class or distance learning. So, sir, from when face-to-face class will start? Please tell me. So that means the students, actually, Mr. Reja is asking that whether it will be face-to-face or online in September.
Yeah, so at the moment, our plan is for us to go face-to-face classes online. But this question is a little bit tricky because there's two sides to it, really. Yeah. Number one is, okay, the UK is fine, so we can teach face-to-face here, but maybe you're in Bangladesh or you're somewhere in the Middle East or somewhere else in South Asia, and your country is still in a lockdown and you can't travel. So if that's the case, then we will be able to deliver online courses, and you would travel in person when you can, when it's available, when it's possible for you to join. However, I appreciate that students, they go to university because they want that face-to-face experience. Maybe you lose something when you're doing things online. Yeah. And if you're worried about that, you can, of course, defer your place, so you can come at a later start date. So if you're a master's student, for example, and you were due to start in September, you can defer your place to January 2021. That's free. You don't need to pay anybody to do that. And you could even, defer to September 2021 if that's what you wanted to do. So we have lots of different options. We're very flexible in that. But obviously, as I said, we need to monitor the situation closely, both in the UK and in your home countries as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Raja. If you have a further inquiries, definitely you can contact our team. Our team can actually update you, once actually the more information comes, and maybe in June, July time will be much more clear picture, about the intakes. Scholarship, is a very popular topic in in South Asia, especially. How much scholarship for undergraduate, master's level, and PhD? It would be great to discuss. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So we fully understand that studying overseas can be a very costly experience for international students. People coming from different economic backgrounds and studying overseas can be very costly. So I think it might be helpful for me to just share my screen at the moment and show you our scholarships page. Let me just pull that up now. Student presentation. Okay. So hopefully you can see the screen here.
Yes.
About our international scholarships. So I will go through these one by one. Again, I would always encourage you to visit the website, www.bangor.ac.uk, for full information about the scholarships. But here I'll just give a very general, quick overview about them. So number one, our main scholarship is called the Vice Chancellor's Scholarship, and that's 50% off your tuition fee. So it's a really, really good scholarship.
Really good, yeah.
That's for first class students. So equivalent of A's at A level, equivalent of a UK first at undergraduate or bachelor's level. And the way that students go about applying for this is an application form. Once you have submitted an offer, once you've submitted an application to the university and received an offer, you can then apply for this Vice Chancellor's Scholarship. And you need to download an application form from the website, fill out the details, and send it back to my colleague. The only problem with this one is that the deadline is very, very close. So the deadline is actually the 15th of May. so about a week from today, 8 days. So I would say if you're interested in this scholarship and you think you'd be eligible, as soon as you finish this Facebook session, as soon as you finish this live chat, go and submit an application with Bangor University or contact your counsellor from TCL Global. Get your application in so that we can make you an offer and you can apply to the Vice Chancellor's scholarship and hopefully get that 50% scholarship. Really good.
Yeah.
The next scholarship is the same process. So download an application form, fill out the details, send it back to my colleague. And again, the deadline is the 15th of May. This is up to £4,000 and it's aimed at people with 2 years of managerial experience. So you need to have good quality experience in the company of, really managing people and managing teams. And if you have that experience, you'd be eligible for this scholarship up to £4,000. Really, really good scholarship again. And then the next two scholarships, these have no deadline. So when you apply to study at the university, your application will be considered automatically for these scholarships. So the Dean's Scholarship is for up to £5,000. Again, a really good scholarship that's going to bring your overall costs down massively. And that's for first class students. So again, kind of A's at A level and equivalent of a first at your undergraduate degree. And then for other students who don't quite meet those kind of levels, they have the International Scholarship, which is up to £3,000, and all international students will be eligible for that. Just a few notes at the bottom of the page there, important things that I should say. So you can only have one of these scholarships. If you're eligible for more than one of these scholarships, then we would always give you the one with the highest value, the highest amount as well. So yeah, good scholarships there.
Okay, just about the Vice Chancellor, after 50% usually, is it like only first year or second year, third year, or a specific year? Or just
so the way that those work, so for master's degrees, obviously it's a 1 year program, so it's just 50% off the 1 year. With the undergraduate Vice Chancellor scholarship programs, you get 50% off in your first year, and then it depends on your performance in the second and third years as well. So you have to meet a certain level if you're going to have the continued scholarship as well. Obviously, it's difficult to give specific numbers because it will depend on your course. So it really depends on your course, really.
Okay. Thank you very much, Morgan. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yes, viewers, if you want to know more and if you want to apply, please contact our team based in Dhaka and Sylhet. They will be able to help you to apply for this scholarship. And also the colleagues, the viewers who are joining from Middle East and North Africa, you can contact our UK office and also our Middle East offices. They will be able to help you. And also the viewers who just joined, we are actually, we already announced our virtual fair in June and July time. You will have the opportunity to contact and speak directly with the Morgan. So please contact our team. Our team can actually arrange the meeting for you, can review documents, then you will have the opportunity to speak with the Morgan directly. Yes, I think some of the other things I want to go back. Here is the deposit for the CAS for undergraduate, masters, and also foundation level. So how much the minimum payment they need to make, especially for privately funded?
So the minimum payment is usually between £2,000 and £3,000, and that's the deposit that's required to release your CAS letter, which you then need for your visa. Again, it will be communicated in your offer letter, but 99% of the time it's £2,000 and £3,000 for students from Middle East and South Asia.
Okay. Accommodations options. What will be your inputs for accommodations here? Okay.
Sure. Again, it's probably helpful for me to share my screen here. Just pull that one up. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, Bangor is one of the cheapest places to live, to work, and to study in the whole of the UK. But it is important to say, with living costs, ultimately it depends on the student. It depends what kind of lifestyle you lead. If you're somebody who likes to, go shopping and eat at the fancy restaurants and have coffee with your friends each and every day and buy fancy clothes and everything, then your costs are going to be significantly higher than other students. But here is a kind of a breakdown of the costs that you can expect. So accommodation, usually from £360 to £720, and this is based on students living in the university accommodation. Now, it's important for me to just say a few quick words here. A lot of students from the Middle East and from South Asia, they think that they'll be able to come to Bangor or anywhere else in the UK and find really, really cheap accommodation. So, the university has these facilities, but they think students that they can find it cheaper. I guarantee you 100%, and I'm not trying to, be biased, I'm not trying to sway you or anything, but I guarantee you, if you come to the UK, you will not find anything for as cheap as a university accommodation. Now, the reason is, university accommodation includes all of your bills. So it includes your rent, it includes your electricity, your water, your gas, your Wi-Fi, and most of them include a gym as well. There is no way that you'll find a house in the UK that will include all of those things for cheaper. So for your peace of mind, please, when a university offers you a place to study and offers you accommodation, do take that, because it's really helpful for you financially. And also, when you go to university, the whole point is to meet people from other backgrounds, cultures, and meet other people. If you live by yourself in a private home, you're not going to have that opportunity to meet people and make friends. So you're missing out on a really large part of the university experience. The next kind of area would be food and entertainment. So again, it really depends on how much you eat. If you have a big appetite, your costs are going to be more. If you're going out all the time, again, your costs are going to be more. But usually £100 to £250 a month. And then others, just for things like, your phone, any other kind of treats for yourself. So we usually say between £560 and £1,070 per month. Per year, 6,720 to 12,840. Now, again, this is a really rough guidelines. Some students live below those figures. Some students live for more than those figures. It's totally up to you. To give you an idea of how that fits in, the UK government suggests an average of £9,300, I think it is, per year. So you can see that Bangor is really low compared to that figure. There's no travel costs in Bangor, so you can walk everywhere in the city. The train station, the libraries, the supermarkets, your accommodation, the gym, everything you can walk to within 10 and 15 minutes. So you're not going to need to spend lots of money on buses and cars and taxis. We have those facilities, but you don't need them, so you can really reduce your costs.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you. Yes, if you can touch a little bit about the job opportunities for international students, Morgan.
Yeah, sure. We understand that a lot of international students, they want to work alongside their studies, and definitely this is possible in Bangor. However, the whole reason you're coming to the UK is to study, it's not to work. So the UK government, on your visa, they will not let you work more than 20 hours a week on your visa. So do bear that in mind. You'll not be able to work more than 20 hours in a week. But there are definitely opportunities for employment whilst you study. So some of our students, they work in supermarkets or shops. They do various other jobs as well, but obviously we have jobs in the university that some of our students get, like student counselling and working in the students' union as well. But obviously if you're on a placement or work or an internship, you can obviously earn money that way as well. And the university has a really good career service that can help you find those work opportunities as well. So yes, in short, there are work opportunities for international students.
Okay, thank you, Morgan. Thank you, viewers. Thank you very much for your questions. And still, if you want to be in touch with our colleagues and our team in Bangladesh, in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, and in myself in UK, you can please contact our team. Our team will help you with your application process. Please contact our team also for the virtual fair where we are organizing next month and July month. So you'll have the opportunity to speak with the Morgan about you can find out more about the Bangor University. Final few words from you, Morgan, or any other things that we missed you want to add finally?
Yeah, I think, just to kind of sum up really, I appreciate that now is a really confusing and difficult time for all of the international students. It's really important for you as students to consider your future and prioritize your health first. That should come first and foremost. So if you're unsure about going overseas because you're worried about things, you always have the option to just hold, okay? Just don't rush things. It's a really big decision for you guys, and take your time with it. Universities, they're always going to be there for you. They're always going to be options for you to study. So if it means that you have to wait a few weeks or a few months before you make that decision, please do that. Don't ever feel rushed to make a decision. But putting that to one side, I would say that the thing about Bangor University to remember is that we have 3 really strong elements that are attractive to students in the Middle East and South Asia. Number one is our costs. So compared to other universities, your overall costs at Bangor are going to be really, much better. But we don't compromise on our quality. We deliver quality education for less, with low tuition fees, low cost of living, and really good scholarships. That's really, really good for all of you. The second thing is, the strength that we have in some really important programs that are shaping the future. So psychology, environmental sciences, ocean sciences, health sciences, our MBA programs as well. Electronic engineering and computer sciences, they are the key areas for Bangor University. And if you're interested in those fields, then we are definitely something to consider. And then finally, the location. It really is one of the most fantastic selling points for any university. And, I always say if there was a global ranking for location, Bangor would easily be number 1. We have everything. And, don't underestimate how important the environment around you is for studying, how important it is for your mental health, for your well-being, and just how you perform and how you feel. It really is strong. And Bangor has, coastlines, mountains, forests, beaches, lakes, everything that you could want. But we're very accessible to big cities as well. So if you want to visit Manchester, for example, it's only an hour to drive across Dhaka sometimes. If you're driving from Gulshan to Dhanmondi, it can take you 2 hours. So getting to Manchester from Bangor is very, very convenient. London is 3 hours away on the train, Birmingham 2 hours away. So we're very well connected to these bigger cities. So yeah, that's probably it from me. I hope this presentation, this interview with Mohammed and TCL Global has been helpful. Hopefully it's answered a lot of your questions. If you have any more, please don't hesitate to get in touch with the team at TCL Global, or you can get in touch with me. My email address is m.edwards@bangor.ac.uk, and my mobile number is also on the website. I'm sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head. I still haven't memorized my mobile number. So yeah, thanks very much, everyone.